Hi there, Maria here from KUHN RIKON. Today I want to show you how to do a large joint of meat, we're working with lamb today, in your pressure cooker. So it's an alternative to using your oven, and it's an alternative to your traditional roast. You can do this in, we're talking about under half an hour. So depending on whether you want it medium, medium rare, or rare, you're going to increase or decrease the time accordingly. Now, we're working with a leg of lamb today. We're doing, it's about 1.3 kilos, the piece that I'm working with. I'll talk about cooking times later. And we're going to do it with some carrots, some leeks, and then what's going to happen is the stock or the water that we were cooking it with is going to become your gravy. So this is one pot cooking. It is very quick, it is very efficient, and it's a really, really simple thing to do for large groups, for the, that Sunday roast or for your family gatherings. So here I'm working with our Inox 5 litre, which is a really decent capacity for a family of 4. And I'm using the long handled today, but we have short handled available as well. Now I'm working on induction, and we're going to have a bit of heat going onto there. And then I'm going to put just about 2 tablespoons of oil and get that quite hot. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to pre-sear the meat. So we're just going to seal it in, get some color on it. We're going to season it with salt and pepper. You can see I really don't have a huge amount of ingredients here. I just want to let the meat speak for itself. So do go with good quality, obviously, if you can. But what the pressure cooker does is it really emphasizes the natural flavors of whatever ingredients you're putting in there. So I am just going to season both sides here. And this is really ideal as part of a roast. You could be doing the roast potato recipe that I've posted as well. They're a great combo. So you do want the heat quite high. I'm on an induction. I'm working medium to medium maximum of my heat capacity here. So let's say your induction goes up to 10. You probably want around an 8, number 8, number 9, just to get some nice fierce heat going. And we're going to sear this. We want about a minute on each side that you can see. A 5 litre capacity is very much big enough for this amount of meat. So that is a good place to start. Okay, I'm happy that there's some heat there now. All right, let's go in. Bosh. So about a minute on each side. And you can already smell that, that's great. So you don't have to preheat the oven. You're saving energy there. It's only going to take under half an hour in total. So again, you're saving a huge amount of energy there. And if you are doing a larger meal, then sometimes the oven is full. You've got too much going on in there. So this is a nice alternative to actually have your meat cooking on your hob. And our pressure cookers, when they don't have the lid on, are very much large casseroles. So you can use them to saute, you can use them to cook in large capacities. As soon as you put the lid on and close the lid, it becomes a pressure cooker. So we're going to go turn that onto our second side now. Lovely. So you can hear that's quite a good amount of heat. And you really do need that high heat to sear the meat and get those flavors sealed in. In terms of quantities elsewhere, just under a kilo of potatoes, just under a kilo of carrots, and I've used about 4 leeks. I'm aiming for 1 leek per person. It's quite a lot of meat there, but I usually aim for my recipes to be for 4 people, and a 5 litre pressure cooker is ideal for 4 people. So again, you can add more veg if you want. I'll explain the capacity once we get that in. Okay, let's turn this over again. Keep the heat nice and high. That's it. Another minute on this side. And then afterwards, once you are done, using the pot to actually make the gravy means that the only thing you're going to wash up is your Duramatic. I'll move that over here for myself. Okay, we're going to turn this again. It might get a little awkward, obviously, the sides that aren't easy for it to lay on, but oh, bit of luck there. I've got an easy find. Another minute there. So today I'm going to cook, I'm aiming for medium rare. And with around a kilo, you're looking at 20 minutes for medium rare, 25 minutes for medium, and 30 minutes for well done. If you go to the KUHN RIKON UK Facebook page, then I often post guidelines of what meats will take how long in your pressure cooker, but also the KUHN RIKON app is the best place to go for searching specific ingredients. You can literally type in lamb and it will tell you what quantity of liquid to put in for what result, etc., etc. So if you're not a seasoned pressure cook, then you know that might be a little new to you. Right, maybe we just want to do one more turn just to seal the deal, no pun intended. And then we're going to start to get the veg in. Okay. So I'm going to use my board here because the meat is going to have to come out for a moment while we get the veg ready. So we're going to turn the heat down just a little bit and we're going to take that meat out and we're just going to let it sit to the side for a moment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the veg as though it is a shelf on the base of the Duramatic. So carrots, leeks, and my 1 cup of water. Okay, so that is what is going to eventually become your gravy. We're going to give that a little stir and we're going to scrape the lovely flavors from the base, which are the lovely caramelized sections from where you've seared your meat. Now already that is just bringing together some of the natural ingredients, letting them shine. There's not a huge amount that you need to do other than create that little shelf there. And then the meat is going to go back in. Meat back in on top, comme ça. And then you're going to pop the lid on. Keep the heat at a medium high. And now we are pressure cooking. So line up your arrows. Ooh, you've got an arrow on the top and you've got arrows on the handle to help you. So you just want to line those up, let it sit in and then close. Keep the heat at a medium high until you achieve 1 red band. As soon as you see 1 red band, you're going to put the heat way down and you're going to maintain that 1 red band. For me, I'm going to go for 22 minutes because I'm a bit over a kilo and I want medium rare. So now we wait. So cooking time over. We want to turn the heat off because we don't want any more pressure to build up, and it's the heat that controls the pressure. Now, very, very importantly, with meat, you want to leave the pressure to come down in what is called a natural release. This means no pushing of the button, no manual release, natural, which means you just turn the heat off and walk away. What will happen is the temperature starts to drop and then your little stem will start to go down over time. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But actually what this is doing is it's naturally relaxing the meat and you're going to have a more tender and delicious result. So do make sure that you always do a natural release when cooking with meat. Okay, so we can see now that the stem valve has dropped all the way down. And what this means is that the pressure has gone from the cooker and we can open it. Now we have really nice safety elements in ours, so you wouldn't have been able to open it if there was any pressure at all in there. So we're going to slide and open. Now we're going to take the meat out and just let it relax for a bit. And we're going to start to make our gravy, but we're also going to remove the veg. So we're going to let the meat rest for a little bit. Now I am just going to cover that with some tin foil so it can relax there and just continue to get even more tender, even though it has already had some relaxing of the fibers from the natural release of the pressure. Now, what we have left is our veg. So we can just start to scoop that out using a slotted spoon, and we can serve that on either end. And then what we're left with is the stock, which has all the lovely lamb flavors. And we're going to start to make a very simple gravy. Again, such simple ingredients. The pressure cooking process highlights and emphasizes all of the natural flavor that you find in your ingredients. So you don't need to be, you know, a really experienced chef. You don't need to use a lot of added extras to get really fantastic flavor. And we all want to save a little bit of money these days. So keep it simple and just use very straightforward, basic ingredients. So just getting the last of that lovely veg out there. And I mean, look at this. You've basically got your meat and your veg all from one pot by saving a load of energy as well. Now, what's going to happen here? I'm going to turn the heat back on. Okay, I'm going to start to make our gravy. Now, this is a stainless steel Duramatic pressure cooker, so I am going to use a whisk, and I'm going to start to add a couple of bits and bobs. Nothing complicated. I'm really just using gravy granules. And I'm going to go, this is 1 cup of liquid, but also none of it has evaporated whatsoever. And you might even have gained a little more juice from your lamb. So I am going to do 3 tablespoons of my gravy granules. And I'm going to bring that to a little bit of heat and continuously stir or whisk for a few minutes. And look at this, we're even making our gravy in the same pot. So in terms of washing up, you're getting the majority of your Sunday roast from one pot. So we're going to whisk, whisk, whisk. Let that flavor settle. And you've got all your lovely flavors from the lamb and your veg and the seasoning, the basic seasoning that you put in there. And then all we're going to do is just add a teaspoon of flour to give it a little extra thickness. And that is really all it is. Teaspoon of flour. I'm just going to whisk that in. And that's going to lighten the color a little bit. And that's going to give it a little bit of thickness. Obviously, everybody likes different thickness gravies. I prefer a nice thick gravy, but the whisk makes a world of difference. You might have just not needed to add that, actually. You could have been quite happy with the gravy before the flour. You could use corn flour. You don't have to use plain flour. And we've still got a little bit of heat coming through there, and that is really getting there. If you do have extras that you want to add, maybe some herbs, some rosemary, maybe a little dash of red wine, of course, but this is a very basic, easy to do, full joint of lamb with veg and gravy, all coming from the one pot. And that is the gravy done. Heat goes off, and I'm going to pour that straight into my gravy boat. So we're going to serve the gravy, and then we're going to get to our lambs. So let me just make some space here. Cheeky gravy boat. And this is our gravy. Not too shabby, eh? Oh, even a little too much there. So, I mean, I don't know what your household is like, but there's never enough gravy in mine. So that is an absolutely beautiful, generous amount of gravy. We're going to sit that over there. Now we're going to come back to our meat. Ooh, stray carrot. So, let's bring our meat out of hiding. Okay. Now, I prefer to just slice and serve so that people can kind of help themselves instead of having to, you know, constantly go back and be in charge. And I think that is ideal. We've got a little bit of pinkness there. But like I said, you could have cooked that more or less. It is totally up to you. So I like to serve the veg and the meat all in one place and just let people help themselves at the table. Let people enjoy choosing what they prefer, what they like, and adding that delicious gravy over the top. And there we have one pot, lamb, veg, and gravy, in less than half an hour. I mean, even as I say it, that's quite impressive. Bon appetit.